good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever it is, wherever you may happen to be. I'm delighted to welcome you to Captain Fawcett HQ. We've got a very special guest, none other than Ricki Hall, my collaborating partner in the signature series, Booze and Baccy. Ricki, hello, mate.
Hello, Richie. Thank you ever so much for having us.
Yeah,
it was a pleasure coming to King's Lynn.
Yeah.
Seeing you lovely people.
King's Lynn, Norfolk and good.
Have a nice bit of lunch with you guys. Have some cups of tea, a little bit of chocolate. Have a treat. And
it's
great.
Really
nice to
so what is going on? Because our collaboration goes back now. Is it 7 years?
At least seven, 8
years,
years. Yeah. We've known each other, I think, about 9 years.
Yeah, we met in prison. For those who don't know, we're on the east wing in Brixton, weren't we? And we were actually saving our sheets. We were trying to knot them together with a view to a kind of a breakout. That's not actually true.
Richie's underpants.
The underpants, stretchy ones, boing, yoing, yoing, but it all went wrong as we bounced back into the cell. Oh, no, seriously, we did meet originally you met Ali in Brixton. That's how it came about, wasn't it?
So how it all came about and how we all met was I was living in Brixton.
Not in prison.
And I used to live opposite the Effra Tavern pub, and I was on the way to a casting, and I popped into the Ritzy cinema for a quick. It was in the middle of the summer. Popped to the Ritzy cinema to have a quick drink before the casting. And I was outside, and I had my little vest on, I had my big beard hanging out, and I was drinking my pint, caught eyes with now I know is Ali, which she's the PR girl for you.
Well, no, Ali Astel actually helped me found the company because she actually set up the initial website way back when. I mean, it's like over 12 years ago now, but anyway, I digress. So, no, Ali is really one of the directors and co-founders of Captain Fawcett, but she did handle all the social media and PR.
And she approached people, and I remember, So I locked eyes with Ali, and we ended up having a little drink together, and she complimented on me on my beard and my tattoos, and we got really well. Just talking for 10-15 minutes. It was lovely, and she handed me a card. It was a Captain Fawcett business card. And she was like, "Look, you've got a great beard. Check out Captain Fawcett. The brand was a lot smaller back then. It was a lot smaller back then." And anyway, a couple of weeks went past. I remembered I had this card on me. I remember being in my flat in Brixton, and so I went on CaptainFawcett.com and saw you did moustache waxes and beard oils and all these bits and bobs with it. I was completely new to male grooming, as in the beard grooming. I didn't know there was any of
You've been doing a lot of stuff at that point with Murdochs and things. When you had your little tattoo, the little anchor on it.
But I hadn't been working with that was just before Murdochs.
Yeah.
That was just before Murdochs, and that was obviously it was in that transition from I did some Murdoch stuff and then I started our collaboration. Yeah. But it was in that it was about a year.
Because I remember basically, I think Ali asked you if you'd help us be in a little film promoting Captain Fawcett's original
with the
private stock beard oil, and we went down to Verrill's, that beautiful vintage motorcycle stop down in somewhere on the south coast, and you came down, and the film actually, that original film, Engineered for Your Beard, I'm just waiting for some bugger to nick that, Engineered for Your Beard is actually on the Captain Fawcett YouTube channel, the actual first outing. And then from that, if I remember, didn't you say something about, I wouldn't mind doing my own kind of beard oil?
I think I casually dropped it into the conversation because, I remember it was a beautiful place, and I remember meeting Ian for the first time.
Yeah. Well, he's another co-founder and director. They're the three core,
Ian Mr. Ian Crockart, he's a lovely guy. We've got a lot of time for Ian. We did our film. We shot that. It was middle of the summer. It was a lovely sunny day.
On an old, was it an old Enfield we were riding as well?
Wasn't it a Triumph?
I think it was an Enfield.
I don't know. Anyway, and then you had me in all this really cool, I think it was your old motorcycle gear that you had me dressed in. And we was pottering around. This was before I had a motorcycle license, so we had to keep it off the road and just in the.
But you've been riding off-road motorcycles
for all my life. I just didn't have a license, so we had to. As soon as I hit the road, we had to stop. The day was great. We all got on really well, and it was great fun. And I think towards then we was having a bit of dinner, and the thought popped into me. I go, you know what? I'm into this. I'm liking the beard oils. I'm liking the moustache waxes. I'm liking the company, the brand. And I was like, I fancy a bit of this. Maybe we can start my own.
So that's basically what happened. That's how Booze and Baccy beard oil came about. And then from that, the moustache wax, and then again the beard balm. And then we developed the fragrance, and the whole fragrance. What was the reasoning behind that? Because, you know, we work with one of the top perfumers in Britain. I mean, we're now famed. Captain Fawcett is now famed for the standard and the quality of our fragrances. But this was, I mean, apart from the original one, which we've done, which was my Fougere, this was the first one. And I mean, it's sold all over the world. But can you remind us of the reasoning behind that particular fragrance?
Behind Booze and Baccy?
Yeah.
So you guys, you approached me going, well, what ideas do you have? What avenue shall we go down? You know, and you've thrown all of these ideas. I was noting it down in my little journal and what I wanted it to go and what alley should we go down and what approach we should do. And it just popped up to me one day. And I think I was in the pub and I was trying to come up with some ideas, and a couple of beers in, and it gets the creative juices flowing. And I thought, you know what? I mean, it was in the pub that my dad used to drink at when he was younger. And I was like, let's do it after my dad, my late father John. And I wanted to, encapsulate the smell of, a leather jacket, the oil. He had his own motorcycle shop, so he's always had that oil smell, the oil petrol. Yeah. That kind of gritty smell about him with the leather jacket, the full capri, the few pints at lunchtime, and the pack of Bensons. Yeah. So I wanted to encapsulate that in a bottle, in the smell. That classy kind of. That handsome, suave gentleman, that's
kind of
very masculine smell, a very masculine smell that's got, almost a kind of a cute element to it. So it's not too harsh, but it's still got an underlyingness of a bit of femininity to it, and then that's where the Booze and Baccy came from. Yeah, so
Booze and Baccy.
And that's literally where it came from, and it's.
I remember you saying it being reminiscent of smelling your father when he came home.
Yeah, especially on a Sunday afternoon after he'd finished work, you go to the pub, that's when you could still smoke in the pub. So obviously you have the cigarette smoke sticking on your clothes, and the amber nectar, obviously the drink, and always being on the cigars or whatever. And he had a couple of Scotch whiskies and come back, and it was Sunday lunchtime. So and you got the roast beef smelling that he had his leather jacket on, and he'd still be smelling of oil and petrol from the bike shop as he'd go straight to the pub from there. And it was just that.
Well, all that smells, they get right into your clothes. Don't you say the smoke in your hair, the oil is in your skin.
Of course, yeah. And that smell reminds me of a safe time as being a child, and being looked after, and everybody in your family coming together for Sunday lunch. It was a very family. It's a very family smell, a very safe smell for me.
So we developed the fragrance based on those kind of notes, and we came up with a really very complicated. In fact, the beard oil still now is made from essential oils, 9 different essential oils. It's not a fragrance. It's quite an ethereal. It's quite difficult to capture that because essential oils change. They will actually change fundamentally on what the weather was like in that particular season or from which country it's originated. So it actually is constantly evolving, but it's very special, and it still remains pretty much, I'd say, Captain Fawcett's flagship. But the Booze and Baccy perfume, which we've developed, is it's so special, second to none, and it's got a huge following. I mean, what happened? I suppose in a way, we grew together. I mean, you were already doing some modelling and things like this, and then you developed your own beard oil, and you had your own modelling career outside and beyond that. And now we're in 8-9 years or whatever it is. Captain Fawcett has grown into a world-renowned brand. And I mean, you're a world-renowned model and an actor with a huge social media following. So, I mean, that's a great thing. So that little accidental bump into it wasn't Brixton Prison, was it?
No, the Ritzy cinema.
Well, I used to go to the Ritzy because I've got links with Brixton as well. Because before I went to college, as a mature student, albeit the least mature person there, to be perfectly honest, I actually used to work in the fridge. But
I remember you telling me this. The nightclub.
Yeah, but that was the old fridge. The old fridge used to be opposite the cop shop, right down the bottom of the hill. Yeah. And the new fridge, which I actually worked to the opening night and then got kicked out for getting absolutely off my tits, was opposite the church, right at the top. And
it's opposite the Ritzy.
It was actually opposite the Ritzy cinema, and so I always used to be in there. And I mean,
I remember going in there once, and it's as I said, it's a place that you have a few.
Well, Brixton is where I first made my amateur movies and all kinds of stuff, which actually ended up with film school on the back of all that Super 8. I shot a lot of Super 8 stuff at the Fridge, and of course the guys who owned and ran the Fridge, Andy Schwabsky and Susan Carrington, were the people who had actually set up the whole the Roxy, the original Roxy, where I've got the Sex Pistols, and there was all kinds of really innovative filmmakers working actually with installations at the Fridge. You know, people like what was that? John, that guy went on to be a major. Bruno de Florence, it was a real hub. You know, creativity, Brixton. At that time, it was the period when I was there. It was the period of the riots. I actually went to both of the riots. It was the Brixton Cycle Co-op thing. There was little filmmaking classes. I remember doing one filmmaking class in that period in Clapham. You know, how to use 16mm film. And a friend of mine who I went along with, you know, he'd never touched a film camera. And there was this, like, you know, very old-fashioned, you know, Bolex, you know, hand-cranked 16mm thing. And he went on, and he ended up lighting, right? I mean, director of photography of probably the world's most famous, renowned, considered the best ever commercial. The one directed by Jonathan Glazer, you know, the horses coming out of the sea. Then he went
the Guinness one. The Guinness one.
That was Ivan Bird. And then Ivan went on and lit Sexy Beast. You know, what a movie.
The film with...
what's his name? Ray Winstone.
Ray Winstone.
Well, I've been on a few gigs with Ray. I have to tell you, we were born in the same year. How we're both still alive. Ray, I've got a hats off to you, mate, because that was some... I think it's quite an achievement that I'm still here. Anyway. But anyway, it's not about me. This is about Ricki Hall, who's come to see us all the way. Can we talk more about me, please?
But yeah, no, it was an incredible advert. But we've got that.
So I mean, you know, we've really grown together, and I mean, I have to say thank you for. I don't think Captain Fawcett, to be honest, would be where it is now if it hadn't been for our collaboration. So Ricki, thank you so much. Hey, before we close this up. What's happening in Ricki's world? Tell me about your clothing brand.
Yeah, so Indigo Good. So it was founded about 5 years ago. And myself and my business partner David. So he had a brand before this called Flying Horse, and it was a shop just off Carnaby Street in London. And he sold that, and he started a new brand called Indigo Goods, and he got me on board to be the creative director, and just to polish some of the clothings up, and just to inject a little bit of freshness into the brand. And we did a collaboration first, see how that went. And we did a gym wear collaboration, very boxing inspired, very English boxing, old school gyms. And that flew out. We did some hoodies and t-shirts, all made in England. We have 2 factories in Leicester and 2 in North London. And that flew out, and David goes, okay, great. Let's start a business together. Let's give it a go.
So you got on board.
So that's the Scorpion Gym is the gym wear, and then we, after a couple of years, we got another brand on top of that, which is the full English brand, which is outerwear, and it's really snowballing out. So we arrived today, and instantly you said how nice the workwear and the outerwear. I've had to post about a work jacket.
But it's really cool stuff. I mean, you're selling all over the world now.
Yeah.
I mean, you told me today you're actually selling into Japan.
Into Japan, yeah. So we've hit the Japan market, and that's incredible. Japan, Korea. And yeah, it's all over America, and it's I think being made in England, it's a big achievement.
Yeah.
And it's going to last. It's quality goods, and I think this day and age, people want that. People don't want disposable fashion.
No.
Or if you do, it's just going to fall apart. It's not. There's no point in it. I disagree with it. So with our brand, it's going to last, and people, it's all above board. There's no cloak and dagger. And it's a great company.
I think it's a great achievement. It really is a great achievement. So we're here talking to Ricki Hall about Captain Fawcett, about Indigo and Goods London. We're talking about his Scorpion brand. We're talking about Booze and Baccy. We're talking about 8 years of collaboration and friendship. It's been a blast, man. It's been a blast. Here's to another 8 years. I'm not sure I'll make it, but we'll do my very best.
Thank you for having me. Cheers, pal.
Cool.
Nice one.
So we were talking here about Captain Fawcett, Ricki Hall, Booze and Baccy, Arsenal. We'll do that again. So we're here talking about Captain Fawcett, Ricki Hall, Booze and Baccy, Indigo and
Goods.
We'll say that again.
Yeah.
Right. So we're here talking to Ricki Hall about Captain Fawcett, about indigo. I can't fucking say it.
Indigo and goods.
Indigo and goods.
Yeah, just say that.
She stood upon the balcony.
Indigo and goods, London. So,
Okay.
put London on.
So we're here with Ricki Hall talking about Captain.
Do that again. So I was talking when you said.
All right.
Go.
Ha! Ha!